What's popping with y'all? I'm gonna put on the timer because I'm actually excited for what we're about to read. So I believe we are on page 78, and we're in the fourth chapter. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer, and let's get into it. So the first sentence, it says, the most important measure of a person's vocabulary is not the size of the number of words he uses. Rather, the thing that only counts about one's vocabulary is the effect his words and phrases have on his own and others' thinking. Here's something very basic. We do not think in words and phrases. We think only in pictures or images. Words are the raw materials of thought. When spoken or read, that amazing instrument, the mind, automatically converts words and phrases into mind pictures. Each word, each phrase creates a slightly different mind picture. If someone tells you Jim bought a new if someone tells you Jim bought a new split level, you see one picture. But if you're told Jim bought a ranch house, you'll see another picture. The mind pictures we see are modified by the kinds of words we use to name things and describe things. Look at it this way. When you speak or write, you are, in a sense, a projector showing movies in the minds of others. And the pictures you create determine you and how others react. Suppose you tell a group, I'm sorry to report we failed. What do these people see? They see defeat and all the disappointment and grief the word fail conveys. Now, you said instead, here's a new approach I think will work. They will feel encouraged, ready to try again. Suppose you say, we face a problem. You created a picture in the minds of others of something difficult, unpleasant to solve. Instead, say, we face a problem and create a mind picture of fun, sport, something pleasant to do. Or tell a group, we've incurred a big expense. Hold on, bro. What? We've incurred a big expense, and people see money spent that will never return. Indeed, this is unpleasant. Instead, say we have a big investment, and people see a picture of something that will return profits later on. A very pleasant sight. The point is, bigger thinkers are specialists in creating positive, forward-looking, optimistic pictures in their own minds and the minds of others. To think big, we must use words and phrases that produce big, positive mental images. Facts. The point is, big thinkers are specialists in creating positive... Oh, no, I'm tripping. In the left-hand column below are examples of phrases that create small, negative, depression thoughts. In the right-hand column, the same situation is discussed in a big, positive way. As you read these, ask yourself, what mind pictures do you see? Okay. So number one, it says, so these are phrases that create small negative minds, and then on the other side, phrases that create big positive minds. So for number one, it says, it's no use, we're whipped. Instead of saying that, you could say, we're not whipped yet, let's keep trying. Here's a new angle. Number two, I was in that business once and failed, never again. You could say, I went broke, but it was my own fault. I'm gonna try again. Number three, I've tried, but the product won't sell. People don't want it. So far, I've been able to sell the product, but I know it's good. I'm just going to find another formula that will put it over. So it's always like figuring out like different things to say, because sometimes when you say certain things, it could be other words positively that you could say to further the outcome of it. So if you're speaking very negligent about a situation, you're probably going to get negative results. But if you speak highly and positive about a situation, you're probably going to get positive results, So it says number four, the market is saturated. Imagine 75% of the potential has been sold. Better get out. You could say, imagine 25% of the market is still not sold. Count me in. This looks big. Number 5, the orders have been small. Cut them off. You could say, their orders have been small. Let's map out a plan for selling more of their needs. Number 6, 5 years is too long, a long time to spend before I'll get into the top ranks in my company. Count me out. You could say 5 years is not really a long time. Just think that leaves me 30 years to serve at a high level. Number 7, the competition has all the advantage. How do you expect me to sell against them? You could say competition is strong. There is no denying that, but no one has all the advantages. Let's put our heads together and figure out a way to beat them at their own game. Number 8, nobody will ever want that product. You could say it isn't in a present form. It may be sellable, but let's consider some modifications. Number 9, let's wait until the recession comes along, then build stocks. You could say let's invest now, bet on prosperity, not depression. Number 10, I'm too young for that. I'm too young/old for that job. Being young/old is a distance advantage. And number 11, it won't work. Let me prove it. The image, dark gloom, disappointment, grief, and failure. You could say it will work. Let me prove it. The image, bright, hope, success, fun, victory. 4 ways to develop the big thinker's vocabulary. Here are 4 ways to help you develop a big thinker's vocabulary. Number 1, use big, positive, cheerful words and phrases to describe how you feel. When someone asks you, how do you feel today? And you respond with I am tired, I have a headache, I wish it were Saturday and I don't feel so good, you actually make yourself feel worse. Practice this. It's a very simple point, and it has tremendous power. Every time someone asks you how are you or how are you feeling today, respond with a just wonderful, thanks and you, or say great or fine. Say you feel wonderful at every possible opportunity, and you will begin to feel wonderful and bigger too. Become known as a person who always feels great. It wins friends. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely been situations where I probably could have just said, yeah, I've been doing all right, I'm doing good, instead of just, putting some negative connotation in the atmosphere. So I feel that. Number 2, use bright, cheerful, favorable words and phrases to describe other people. Make it a rule to have a big, positive word for all of your friends and associates. When you and someone else are discussing an absent third party, be sure you compliment him with big words and phrases like, he's really a fine fellow. They tell me he's working out wonderfully well. Be extremely careful to avoid the petty cut him down language. Sooner or later, third parties hear what has been said, and then such talk only cuts you down. Number 3, use positive language to encourage others. Compliment people personally at every opportunity. Everyone you know, craves praise. Have a special good word for your wife or husband every day. Notice and compliment the people who work with you. Praise sincerely administered is a success tool. Use it. Use it again and again. Compliment people on their appearance, their work, their achievements, and their families. Number 4, use positive words to outline plans to others. When people hear something like this, here's some good news, we face a genuine opportunity, their minds start to sparkle. But when they hear something like, whether we like it or not, we got a job to do, the mind moves in a dull and boring, and they react accordingly. Promise victory and watch eyes light up. Promise victory and win support. Build castles, don't dig graves. Facts. Facts. Build castles, don't dig graves. Facts. Just like don't burn bridges, So it says, see what can be, not just what is. Big thinkers train themselves to not just see what it is, but what can be. Here are 4 examples to illustrate this point. All right, so number 1, it says, what gives real estate value? A highly successful realtor who specializes in rural property shows what can be done if we train ourselves to something where a little or nothing presently exists. Most of the rural property around here, my friend began, is run down or not very attractive. I'm successful because I don't try to sell my prospects a farm as it is. I develop my entire sales plan around what the farm can be. Simply tell the prospect the farm has XX acres of bottom land and XX acres of woods and XX miles from town. Doesn't stir him up and make him want to buy it, but when you show him a concrete plan for doing something with the farm, he's just about sold. Here, let me show you what I mean. He opened the briefcase and pulled out a file. This farm, he said. This is a new listing with us. It's not like a lot of them. It's 43 miles from the center of the metropolitan area. The house is run down and the place hasn't been farmed in 5 years. Now, here's what I've done. I spent 2 full days on the last week just studying it. I walked over the place several times. I looked at neighboring farms. I studied the location of the farm with respect to existing and planned highways. I asked myself, what's this farm good for? I came up with 3 possibilities. Here they are. He showed them to me. Each plan was neatly typed and looked quite comprehensive. One plan suggested converting the farm into a riding stable. The plan showed why the idea was sound. A growing city, more love for the outdoors, more money for recreation, good roads. The plan also showed how the farm could use a sizable number of horses so that the revenue from the rides will be largely clear. The whole riding stable idea was very thorough, very convincing. The plan was so clear and convincing, I could see a dozen couples riding horseback through the trees. In similar fashion, this enterprising salesman developed a second thorough plan for a tree farm and a third plan for a combination tree and poultry farm. Now, when I talk to my prospects, I won't have to convince them that the farm is a good buy as it is. I help them to see a picture of the farm changed into a money-making proposition. Besides selling more farms and selling them faster, my method of selling property for what it can be pays off in another way. I can sell a farm at a high price than my competitors. People naturally pay more for acreage. I don't know how to say that. Acreage. How do you say that? Acreage. Acreage. Pronunciation.
Acreage.
Acreage. Oh, so like, okay, acreage. So people naturally pay more for acreage and have an idea than they do just for acreage. Because of this, more people want to list their farms with me, and commission on each sale is larger. The moral of this is look at things not as they are, but what they can be. Visualization always adds value to everything. A big thinker always uses visualization. No, I'm tripping. A big thinker always visualizes what can be done in the future. He isn't stuck in the present. Number 2, how much a consumer is worth. A department store executive was addressing a conference of merchandise managers. She was saying, I may be little to old-fashioned, but I belong to a school that believes the best way to get the customers to come back is to give them a friendly, courteous service. One day, I was walking through our store when I overheard a salesperson arguing with the customer. The customer left in quite a huff. Afterwards, the salesperson said to another, I'm not gonna let $1.98 I'm not gonna let a $1.98 customer take up all my time and make me take the store apart trying to find him what he wants. He simply is not worth it. I walked away, the executive continued, but I couldn't get that remark out of my head. It's pretty serious. I thought when our sales people think of customers of being in the $1 to 99 cent category, I decided right then that this concept must be changed. When I got back to my office, I called our research director and asked him to find out how much the average customer spent in our store last year. The figure came up with the figure came up. Hold on, I'm gonna read the last part, and we're gonna read page 85 tomorrow. The figure he came up with surprised me. According to our research director's carefully calculation, the typical customer spent about $362 in our establishment. Okay, cool. Gonna stop it right there, y'all. I already put the timer off, so tomorrow we're gonna start on page 85 of chapter 4, How to Think Big. So y'all stay tuned, y'all stay blessed. Let me get it with y'all.